4 turbulent years ago, Harry and Meghan staged their extraordinary Megxit and jetted out of Britain to savour the faraway fruits of their pampered and privileged version of American freedom. Woohoo! Happy anniversary! It was March the 31st, 2020, when the dazzlingly daring duo officially shook off the shackles of royal duty for a new life in the sun. By then, the divisive Duke and Duchess had already run off to a Canadian hideaway ahead of their golden future on California's wonderful West Coast. No more for them the drab and dry dreariness of Buckingham Palace's crushing calendar, attending civic functions, delivering earnest speeches, unveiling plaques, planting memorial trees, waving on the way to church, and all the other important but deeply dull diary dates that constitute the vast majority of the humdrum royal agenda. Instead, Harry and his ambitious Hollywood wife looked forward to a thrilling ocean of opportunity, earning their own millions through inspirational films, TV productions, podcasts and books, and spreading their oh-so-woke beliefs and values via selfless charity work. It all sounded great, but little did we know back then what Harry and Meg's brave new world would actually entail. Hard to point to a single memorable achievement by the gruesome twosome while they've been living in luxury at a massive mansion in the exclusive multi-millionaire Santa Barbara enclave of Montecito. Most of the money they've raked in has been accrued by pouring a bucket all over Harry's furious father, Charles, and the rest of the hapless royals. As bosses at Spotify concluded shortly before cancelling Meghan's woefully worthy, toweringly tedious podcast Archetypes, if the less than dynamic duo aren't bad-mouthing Harry's relatives, no one really cares what they have to say. And look what it's all come down to for the former game show hostess Ms. Markle after that disgraceful lie-strewn interview with the laughably credulous Oprah Winfrey, in which Meghan effectively suggested the British royals were a bunch of racists. There was the nauseating Netflix documentary series, imaginatively called Harry and Meghan. In this juvenile pile of dubious drivel, the titular Harry and Meghan branded the entire British nation either consciously racist or racist without knowing it. We were all guilty, no escape for any of us. Meanwhile, as Harry pursued his ticker-tape blizzard of lawsuits against various newspapers in his doomed, self-styled mission to dragon slay the British media, his missus was busy creating a breathtakingly beige website that sells jam, candles, cushions, cutlery, get them all for horrendously high prices at Meg's lifestyle forum, American Riviera Orchard, a kind of Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop without the popular celebrity name and minus the sense of style. So, at the start of Megxit, Markle's sparkle was supposed to inspire us, enlighten us, make the world a better place. Instead, she's flogging us knives and forks and jam. Is this really what Meghan had in mind? And as for Harry, he's now retreating from a sequel to his nasty little book Spare because apparently he fears it might upset people. You don't say. Shame he didn't have the same thought before unleashing the stunningly spiteful Spare Mark I. Apart from this ghost-written hatchet job, what has Harry done since embarking on his American dream? In fairness, the not famously intellectual prince didn't even try a podcast, which may have contributed to Spotify's decision to axe the Sussexes' $20 million contract. So while Meghan's hawking her household wares, what will Prince Harry do? My guess, just exactly what he's told. That's about it, isn't it? Your thoughts, JJ?
Who is he being told to do stuff by? You think,
Meghan.
you think Meghan's controlling him?
Yeah.
It's always the woman. Yeah. That may be how it works in your house, Kevin.
It certainly does. It certainly does.
I think we should be really, really happy for Harry and Meghan.
They thought that everything they would touch would turn to gold, and that didn't happen. And you could see, you know, this week with the visits and the hospital and whatever they are doing now, there's always an agenda, isn't there? And there's so much attached. They just think so much of themselves, so highly of themselves. And do they not listen to what we're all saying? I mean, I feel as if everyone was saying that kind of thing about me. I would take it on board.
Those poor kids in that LA hospital, they're lying there sick, and they go, "Oh Christ, it's Meghan. We're having a hard enough time as it is. What's she doing here? Oh no, she's going to read stories to us."
A few things, Amanda. You said they've achieved nothing. Well, they made a lot of money from Netflix for Netflix's most successful documentary
Only
ever.
because they were slagging off the royal family.
Okay,
On their own, they don't do anything successful. They don't. JJ, listen to me.
No.
They do nothing.
No, do let us know.
Absolutely.
But you're but
You're not going to let us know.
No, I'm not going
Well, it's because she's a woman.
That's correct. That's correct.
I need to get back to the kitchen.
Make the tea.
Regardless of the content of their Netflix documentary, it was successful. So you say they've done nothing. They did.
But it was about the family. If they're not shredding the family apart, then it doesn't do well. If it's just about them, if it's just about Meghan writing a book, or Meghan doing her own...
That's not a metric for success. Metric for success is, did people watch it? Yes. Did Netflix get more subscribers from that documentary? Yes. Is it the most successful documentary on Netflix ever? Yes. The content of it is irrelevant.
No, but
they wouldn't.
But we're talking about how are they successful on their own as a couple?
No, we're not. That's what you're talking about.
We're talking about...
No, that's you. Kevin didn't say that.
Let me ask you,
Kevin
both of
agrees.
you. I've got a question for both of you. This thing, American Riviera Orchard.
Yeah.
Which you could have got some other words in, couldn't you? American Riviera Orchard, apple, nice things. It's a ridiculous name.
Every single announcement that they do, it's always on the back of maybe Kate's announced something, Charles has announced something, and they jump on that publicity, and that drives me absolutely insane because, like, have your own life. You have moved away, you have decided to do that, get on with it. But they can't let go because they're not successful without the royal family.
But they are. They're proving it.
Not.
If they were coming back here now saying to us, please, British public, let's come back to royal duties. We've failed. We have no money left. I don't understand what you're saying, but they have made literally multi-millions in 4 years.
Because it's companies like Netflix, for no apparent reason, said, have $100 million to make shows. And then Spotify said, had $20 million. And then a little while later, they go, why on earth do we give this couple of grifters $20 million? Let's not give them that money anymore.
You would take it.
And let me tell you, she's going to, in terms of American Riviera Orchard, she's going to make the square root of all out of that.
She's going to make millions.
Meanwhile, it is time for a bad ad.
Why not get the most out of your life? Now there is somewhere you can go for an exciting new look. If your hair is hard to manage in style, damaged, or is thinning or balding, you can now choose the new style you want at Mr. Ray's. In just about 1 hour, Mr. Ray will give you a beautiful new head of 100% human hair with no pain or discomfort. Don't dream about your new style. Go after it.
Call 587-0555 today.
I didn't think much of some of those styles. I couldn't quite work out what was the before and what was the after. So I don't think I'm going to go to Ray's anytime soon. What do you think, Amanda?
That was a different time. That's not my kind of time.
Well, Kevin, where did you get yours done?
Ray's.
My favourite
I travel to Pittsburgh twice a month.
My favourite mean tweet ever about you is someone saying that you have hair like a Lego man. It just goes on.
I was going to say, should we all be judging? I feel like we should be judging.
I don't like people to be judgmental about me. You got some mean tweets, Amanda?
I do. These are from my drafts. I haven't got around to sending. No, I've got some really mean tweets that I found of both of you.
Hang on, wait.
And I
Can I
love
ask this
them.
question? Why are you? That was my job on the show to read the mean tweets. Why is this happening?
Winding you down.
Because like your friend Meghan, you're a grifter, and they've asked me to go.
All of our American viewers have written in and said, could we have less of JJ? So it was the least we could do
And I delivered.
to take you off mean tweets duty. So, Amanda, your mean tweets.
Am I getting £20 million for this, by the way? Right, so Kevin has male PMS. With all of this ranting and raving, he needs to see a doctor. It's kind of considerate. He's worried about your health.
He is worried,
blood pressure, all of that. Another person has just really cut straight to what they think. And I don't know, there's no context around this at all, but it's just, O'Sullivan reminds me of a frog.
Mr. Dude.
Yeah. Well, OK. Not quite sure what to make of that.
I've definitely called you worse, so I think this is not bad.
I like these people say, why is he always ranting and raving? You haven't been watching me for very long, have you? That's all I ever do is rant and rave. So there you go.
I wondered how that sentence is going.
Have we got any more?
Yeah, we've got some about JJ now.
Oh, it's a
obviously.
JJ.
This is JJ.
This is from me.
JJ, what planet are you from where it relates to H&M? You are so phony, especially when you laugh. It's cringy.
Everyone says that.
That was really... You're so phony, especially when you laugh. Followed by fake, phony laugh. But they got a good point, you see.
But when you're not laughing, you're spouting your opinions off, right? And this guy says, JJ, keep your opinions to yourself. You say a sentence, then laugh, treating it as a big joke. It's ridiculous. You always support the traitors. I bet you would not defend a traitor brother that slandered you and wife and family worldwide.
Yeah.
No, that's getting a bit deep, isn't
You're
it?
right.
That's getting a bit
You're the
much.
traitor's friend. You're the traitor's friend.
I wish I cashed in on it.
Yeah.
I wish I could make a living off it.
And by the way, I like
yeah.
that. I like that last mean tweet. So in future, could you please keep your opinions to yourself?
Yeah, no opinions and no laughing. How?
No opinions, no laughing.
gonna be so-
That's the end of JJ.
gonna be so
Listen,
quiet
we have to go
around
to a real ad break. We'll be back in just a little while. What just happened?
He's mad as hell. It's Kevin O'Sullivan.
Welcome back to the world's greatest television show. What just happened? Starring me, Kevin O'Sullivan. JJ Anisiobi is in the house. Didn't manage to keep him out. Told the security guards, don't let the f***er in, but he's in. And Amanda Devlin I did allow in, and she's having a great show. JJ, not so much. Here are a few of my thoughts on Prince Harry and Prince William.
Woo!
Now, this is interesting. I think it is anyway. For petulant Prince Harry, sorry seems to be the hardest word. Hard to say, hard to get anyone else to say. Goes without saying that the Ginger Whinger owes his father, the king, and the entire royal family the mother of all grovelling apologies for his frankly, unforgivably appalling behaviour since embarking on his strange new life in the Californian sun. The long list of Harry's horrible howlers is, of course, a matter of regrettable record. Just to remind you, though, his hurtful utterances include implying that Charles and his hapless clan are racist, stating that Kate is uninspiring royal wife material who William only married out of a sense of duty, and calling Camilla the villain of the story. The dreaded Duke's book Spare was, in effect, a cry of rage from a middle-aged man who, while important in his own mind, fears he is not treated by others with the respect and deference he believes is his due. After what you've done, selling your nearest and dearest down the river for cash, Mr. Sussex, I don't respect you. And as for deference, if you think I'm doffing my cap to you, mate, think again. So, yes, make no mistake, Harry should beg for forgiveness from the relatives he has so egregiously wronged. But, of course, he won't. Instead, our misguided hero demands that Charles, Camilla, William, Kate and the Regal gang apologise to him and his American wife for the way they allegedly treated her. Poor Meghan, eking out her harsh existence in palaces, limousines and private jests. What sheer hell it must have been for her. And then, when she got pregnant, horror of horrors, Charles and Kate wondered what the baby might look like. The Duke and Duchess of Netflix let their soft soap interrogator, Oprah Winfrey, explode in righteous indignation and then stayed silent throughout months of royal racist outrage until Harry insisted that everyone else had it all wrong. It was the media that weaponised Babygate and certainly not the gruesome twosome from Montecito. OK, then. That's their story and they're still sticking to it. Who believes them? Do you? But if you are wondering why William angrily rejects the idea of a truce, why he refused to see his problem sibling when he came to London to see his cancer-stricken dad, why these warring brothers will, in all probability, never speak again. It's because, incredibly, Harry feels it's William who owes him an apology. That, folks, is entitlement on an epic scale. And William is having none of it. Harry's deranged demands are a bit like punching someone in the face and expecting them to say sorry for hurting your hands. So whose fault is it that Diana's sons, once inseparable brothers in arms, can no longer stand the sight of each other? And the answer is... I'm going to ask you, Amanda.
Because
Harry, you took too long. Sorry.
Sorry. I was actually going to call him Mr. Sussex.
Yeah, Mr. Sussex.
Because I don't know him personally. But no, absolutely spot on. I agree with everything there because it's him being.
Paid, don't you?
I think that's 20 million. You know, it's because of what he can't accept what he's done wrong, and he looks back on the past now so differently to how it actually happened, and that's so hurtful for Prince William, and especially at the moment when Prince William is going through such a terrible time with his wife being poorly, his dad being poorly. For him to have to be worrying about this as an added stress, I think that breaks everyone's hearts. No one wants this to be going on, and the fact that Harry can't sort of see the seriousness of the situation and actually apologise.
The thing is, JJ, that he's a professional victim, isn't he?
I think that's what it is.
He finds himself to be a victim in every situation. And, him demanding an apology from the royal family after everything he's done and everything Meghan's done, it just beggars belief.
First of all, thank you, celebrity therapist, Dr. Amanda Devlin.
I actually am. I do what? I actually am like that.
You're a weirdo.
Over to you, Professor Anisiobi. Intellectual show. A lot of academics on board.
Let's hear your propaganda.
I genuinely think Harry does deserve an apology from some members of the royal family, essentially just King Charles and William, for the things that they did wrong throughout his childhood and growing up, and in the early days.
What did they do to him in his childhood?
Well, it's stuff like the fact that he says his dad wasn't affectionate, and when his dad told him about Princess Diana's passing, his dad sat at the end of the bed and said, "My dear boy, I'm just afraid your mother's died." It wasn't. You'd think a normal functional family, you'd give the kid a hug and be trying to comfort them differently. So for that personal thing, I think maybe his dad could say, "I'm sorry, I wasn't sweeter to you. I wasn't more affectionate to you as a parent." We know the Queen. I call her the Queen. I don't mean Camilla. I mean the proper Queen. We know that the late Queen, she was not that affectionate to Charles. You always tell me that story about the Queen coming from a
amazing
world tour.
story.
Yeah, tell it now.
Well, this is when the Queen had just become the Queen, and one of the first sort of tours that the Queen and Prince Philip had, they went off all around the world to say, "I'm now the Queen." And she came back after about 6 weeks, and they flew into an old BOAC plane, British Overseas Airways Corporation. So it flew in, and it was Heathrow. And Charles was only about 5 years old or something, and he had his little school cap on, I seem to remember, and his little uniform. And he's with the minders on the edge of the runway, and the Queen comes down the stairs of the plane, and Charles breaks away and excitedly runs across to see his mum with his arms like that, and she puts her hand out and shakes his hand. He was 5 fucking years old.
So I can understand.
So the royals are a bit emotionally constipated.
Yeah, exactly. So I can understand why Charles was raised that way, and that's the way he treated Harry. So if Harry wants to be hugged and kissed as he does with his own kids, as we see William do with his kids, then I think it's okay for him to say to his dad, I want an apology for how I was treated as a kid. That wasn't right. I lost my mum. You didn't give me any comfort. With William and the rest of the royals, I do think the press were a bit harsh on Meghan at points, and the royal family stayed silent on it. But they were happy to speak out about other things going on, but not to defend Meghan. When stuff was being written that they later said was untrue, the royal family stayed silent on it. And the whole never explain, never complain thing, I get it, but I do think there are some things they should apologise for. And once they apologise, Harry should also apologise for venting his stuff publicly.
Fair enough. I just think that Harry's sins outweigh the royal family's sins. They outweigh Will's sins.
William made his brother eat dog water. He punched him and knocked his brother into the dog bowl. Yeah, Harry was covered in dog saliva and chum.
His brother's having a fight.
He ripped his necklace. He's a thug. William's a thug. She'll be locked up.
Done 2 tours in Afghanistan. My necklace. I mean, that's just 2 brothers having a fight. You always make too much of that. But in the Oprah interview, they told 17 lies. 17. And they let it rest.
Knowing that the royal family couldn't reply.
They let it rest that there had been racist speculation among the royal family. Specifically, we later found out, Charles and Kate, about the colour of the baby's skin that she was pregnant with.
According to Scobie.
No, to be fair, Harry later said, well, yeah, but we never said that was racist. They did. Harry accepted that they had said this, that impression had been given. They said, we didn't say that the royals were racist.
But that's because they live in their own reality.
Don't you remember Oprah? They did what? They let that turn into a racist incident and then said it was nothing to do with us. Liar, Harry. That's what you are. Yeah. That is lying. That's not true.
And I don't know how you could forgive that in your family, to be honest. And just because they're brothers, it doesn't mean that they have to get over this. Yeah. And William's had to for the past 4 years, which have been, let's be honest, it's been a really difficult 4 years for the country and for his family personally. And he's gone through it incredibly stoically without his brother's help. So does he actually need him?
Well, no, frankly. It's time now for a bad ad, though.
It's gonna be a nice day today.
The kind that makes you want to get away. So,
we're gonna come through for you.
You deserve a break, so we'll be ready for you.
We'll get a shine on the floor.
We'll even polish the floor. We'll serve it up with a smile. Yeah, we do it in style.
Deserve a break today. So come on in the McDonald's way today.
Yay, I love that.
That's Australia, the McDonald's Down Under. I like adverts like that.
Sunshine
they really put some effort in, didn't they?
They did, but it's false advertising. You go to McDonald's lately, there's no staff in there like that.
Oh, no.
No one's singing, dancing, and they always get the order wrong.
I've never been to McDonald's.
Fast food takes about 20 minutes these days.
You've
never had a McDonald's?
No, I've never had one, no. I've been to a McDonald's. I've never had one.
What are we doing in a McDonald's? Just hanging out?
That sounds creepy.
Used to get together with friends, Great, it's a great meeting place. No, I used to like those non-milk milkshakes.
Non-milk milkshakes?
In my day, I used to like the chicken McNuggets and things, but I can't.
Non-milk milkshakes? What do you mean, like
Well, they're not actually. The thing is that they're called McDonald's shakes because there's not actually any milk in
right.
them. But I used to like them.
Wow.
But I've never had a McDonald's burger.
I always think you've had a fascinating life, but now I'm thinking you haven't lived. Right, you need to get to McDonald's. Let's go right now.
Oh, you think my life would be a whole lot more fascinating if I'd spent a lot of time in McDonald's? It's you that needs to get out more. Let me tell you.
But you do go there for meetings. You do hang out in McDonald's, but you don't eat at McDonald's. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. I have all my business.
And I'm the weirdo.
When I'm discussing contracts for big new deals in the wonderful world of entertainment, I meet various agents, managers. We all meet up at McDonald's and we seal the deal. And we have to seal the deal on the end of this excellent show. Thanks very much to the surprisingly entertaining JJ Anisiobi and the unsurprisingly entertaining Amanda Devlin. I've been Kevin O'Sullivan. You've been an amazing audience. In particular, thank you to our viewers in America and also back here as well, all over the world. Tune in next week, same time, same place. What just happened? Right here on talkTV. Ta-da! What just happened?